if you're looking for a game to play and you want to hear our thoughts on it, that's what this is for. So, I want to get some updates out of the way for the channel. The first one is IGO updates. So as you know, the Gunvolt indie game Overcast has come out, which has revised some things upon the previous Iconoclast IGO. But it is far from perfect, and that is what I am aiming to do with our next indie game Overcast. That one, spoiler, is going to be Cadence of Hyrule. That will be coming in the next month. So please look forward to that, along with a lot of improvements and notes that I've taken from colleagues and people who have watched and left comments for me. Okay, so the next one is Where's Wandering Heroes? That's where we left off last time with the podcast. Don't worry, Wandering Heroes is not gone. It's just evolving into something else that is an equal dumpster fire. That leads me to our next big thing. We are going to be starting a D&D campaign called Amateur Adventures, starring the Waterdeep campaign.
What, the Waterdeep Dragon Heist?
Dragon Heist. Thank you, Nick.
There.
With yours truly as the DM and Lord of everything.
Me, your future dungeon master.
You'll be hearing my voice a lot. I'll be stumbling through this thing one broken leg at a time. Let's go.
So if you guys are into a bunch of
Amateurs?
not newbies, let's go with amateurs playing D&D, feel free to
A bunch of hooligans.
That sounds alright, actually.
Yeah, it sounds
that's
more
you
about
in
right.
that corner alone.
Yeah, Brandon.
We don't look at you.
Wow.
But yeah, if you're interested in some awesome character backgrounds, an awesome story that we're going to be going through, and a bunch of charismatic guys, well, hopefully charismatic.
Charismatic.
Yeah,
In quotations.
stay tuned for that, because that's going to be going up in a similar format to the podcast. I've been playing Persona 5. So Brandon gifted me this game after he got Persona 5 Royal. I put it in around the next day and started playing it. I never really knew what the hype was all about until now. And for certain, this game I can safely say is one of a kind. I played it on the PS4, obviously, because that is the only console it is available for, but I expect it to be compatible with the PS5, looking at Sony's new requirements for replayability or compatibility. So, as far as the game's story, the game really begins after a failed Phantom Thief heist. Joker is being interrogated by Detective Sai Nijima. The game's story is essentially a flashback leading back up to that point. So Joker's life that led up to that point of him being captured and interrogated by her. And it's just so interesting because deep down, you really want to know how this elusive leader of the Phantom Thieves was captured. One of my favorite mechanics about Persona 5 was the Confidant system. So Confidant system is basically you have a lot of people who you have the choice of being friends with and furthering those bonds. Some of those friendships are story-based. Some you can go out of your way to get based on your social rank, which is another thing in itself. But I'm focusing on the Confidant system right now. So what these are, you have actual hangouts with supporting characters. And for me, this adds a whole new dimension of immersion to the game, because these characters feel so much more real to me. Like, for example, my favorite character, Ryuji. He's a bro to the bone and back. I don't know anyone in my life who would I could do such risky things with, like asking girls out on the beach and then her boyfriend shows up and threatens to beat us up, or like calling a mysterious number for like a maid service and it actually turns out to be spoiler alert, let's not go with spoilers, but it's someone that the main character knows. So yeah, I really love the Confidant system. It lets you bond with these characters on a whole new level, and there are a ton of people that you can hang out with in this game. So I was convinced while playing this game that it's like playing an anime in every sense. Like, it felt like I was binging a very long series, but in the form of a video game. And there were some points where I just felt like I was living as Joker myself. Like, I felt like I was the main character just absorbing all this in. And it gives you plenty of options for your own input, which the characters can react to and their own dialogue, which is just amazing. And the fact that most of it is voiced really helps with that immersion. So, to add a little bit more on the characters and immersion, characters like Ryuji and An, which you meet at the near beginning of the game, all have their own reasons and goals for being Phantom Thieves. And the goals for characters coincide with their age and personality, so they don't seem too out there for who they are. Like, they have their own childish reasons and goals, and they also have their own heroic and noble reasons for doing what they do because of their own experiences that created those. So that just feels really real to me, and I can relate to it pretty hard. Same goes for non-Phantom Thief confidants. They may not be Phantom Thieves, but they have their own problems that they're dealing with that you either stubbornly or mistakenly get involved with. And I find that really cool, believable, and just immersive overall. So, moving on to the next of my notes. So, there's a gameplay mechanic that I really don't like, and it's really minor, but it's the safe rooms. I understand that this is completely a gameplay mechanic, so I can't say too much about it. If you die in-game, you return to the last safe room without recorded progress. Safe rooms allow you to save, fast travel, and converse with your team. These safe rooms only exist inside of palaces, which is where the actual RPG gameplay begins, where you fight enemies, gain EXP, find items, progress the story, and whatnot. So yeah, safe rooms are pretty much what you can imagine in a video game. I'm usually not a fan of them. I usually prefer saving whenever I want. And I'm kind of like on board for like games in the future who will offer the ability to choose between regular saves and auto saving instead of just implementing one or the other. Charles?
Yeah, that save point is it's throwback to most old Final Fantasies. Most of the old Final Fantasies, you have like a single point where you can save. You can't save throughout the dungeon. You can only save at certain points.
Someone didn't play the previous Persona games.
Yeah.
There were no save points in those.
No,
You
there
were
wasn't. I'm
thrown
just saying
straight
it
into
was
the
more
deep
like
end.
it was more like a throwback to those. Like that's what I was seeing it as. Like all the older Final Fantasies, like I would say, there's one of my favorites. You could only save in certain points, and it was
Well, no,
because
you could save at any point in Persona 5. You can literally, like, you can be...
Inside of palaces.
Oh, yeah.
That's what the
inside
safe
palace, like
rooms
inside a
exist.
dungeon. That's how it was. When you go to a dungeon, you can't just save. Oh, I want to save right before the boss, so I can just keep restarting. It's to give you like a
There's
gap.
particular places where you can do so.
Yeah, there's
Well, I mean,
particular.
like for me, when I played, I found it better. Like if I need a save, like run back to the safe room. and
That's
then
what I
go
always
there.
had to
Yeah.
do.
But then there's the thing like I'm currently in a palace where if I go back to my most recent save room, I have to switch locations, and when you switch locations, enemies respawn. So that kind of
That
defeats the
is true.
purpose because I have to refill my SP now, which is my special bar.
I mean, if you're in that situation, then I would recommend. Sneak attacking is always an option.
I
That
mean, it
doesn't
still
help the
requires me to
SP.
use SP.
Yeah.
That just gives you
So-
first attack.
That's
Which
the
damage.
only, and that's my defining reason for not liking the
Yeah.
safe rooms. But that's just a minor thing.
Yeah, it's
So-
something that's okay.
Moving on to my overall thoughts, I love this game through and through, and I can see where the love in the fandom comes from. A game like this I personally think a game like this is best enjoyed solo, on a day with little to no obligations. This game is for leisure and epicness. So, on a final note, this game has an amazing soundtrack rivaling my number one OST since 2015. I just questioned what century it was.
Wait, century.
Yeah,
Century.
2015.
Wait, what was that OST?
That is Xenoblade Chronicles. Fun fact, my number 2 is Sonic Adventure, and my number 3 is Sonic 3 and Knuckles and Kingdom Hearts 2.
So what's your favorite OST now from Persona 5?
Oh, they're rivaling. There's no way I can choose one or the other. So, yeah. Anything you guys want to add as far as Persona 5?
I mean, I'm about to start playing it soon. I just bought a PS5 and I'm just waiting for it to start
PS4?
playing it.
I lo-
PS4.
Are you from the future?
I love Persona 5. I love the time management you have to do. I found out there's about 2 free weeks in the game that you have, or as a safe space, so to speak.
Yeah.
I screwed myself in my first playthrough because I spent too much time trying to get my skills up. Why do you need like max intelligence or whatever to hang out with Hifumi? It makes me so mad.
Because
Well,
how else are you supposed to be?
Not max
how-
intelligence, but it's pretty up there.
Yeah,
like
might as well
I
be
was
max.
like, this is how I saw it. She's gonna become a waifu. I'm gonna work for that.
Yeah.
or the best side bro. Okay, EY, the gun shop owner. You
Side bro. You mean dad I never had?
exactly. You cannot hang out with him until you have level 4 guts.
Yeah.
You meet him at the start of the game when you have nothing.
Yes, I just like got
New
to
Game
him
Plus.
and I'm like 70 hours in the game.
Exactly. It's ridiculous.
I mean, actually, is it bad? Is it sad I'm the only person like the fortune teller?
I mean,
Fortune teller is good. You basically use it to cheat the other confidants. So.
yeah.
No, I liked her character a lot, and I was like, oh, I use her to cheat everybody else. Okay, your best girl, because she's best girl because if her, I get all the girls.
Anyways,
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyways,
Charles is a sloth.
wait,
Yes. Yes. You're a sloth.
Yeah.
Yes, you're a lustful sloth.
That's two different things, but yeah, let's go with that.
Yes.
it's 2 sins in 1.
Yeah, but
Yes.
for me, I enjoyed Persona 5 so much. I'm happy that you really enjoy Persona 5.
I am as well. You don't understand. To have someone else other than Brandon talk to about, he doesn't talk about the cool things.
All I've ever heard from Brandon was Kamoshida this, Kamoshida that.
This is Kamoshida. That palace is probably the best one in the game, unfortunately, next to the casino, which you'll see later in the game.
As long as I can bet my family, that's fine. No, I was just kidding.
I mean,
All right, so let's move on to the next game. Let's keep the momentum going.
We're betting kids.
All right, well, on to mine. I've been playing Sid Meier's Civilization 6, otherwise known as Civ 6. It's a great game. It's really good. It's a good game.
Don't jostle that too much.
So I've been playing on the Nintendo Switch, and Civ 6 is a turn-based game in which you lead a civilization through many hardships, like barbarians, weather, even the test of time itself. And I'm fumbling over my words here.
Oh, just read it word for word if you have to.
Yeah, I'll probably end up doing that.
It was a very nice script.
It was. Actually,
I would have spaced it out some.
well, actually put spaces in, or like line breaks, I mean?
Paragraphs.
Paragraphs, yeah. Yeah, let me just read straight from the thing. All right. So lately I've been playing Sid Meier's Civilization 6, or Civ 6 for short, on my Nintendo Switch. Civ 6 is a turn-based game which you pick one of many different civilizations, otherwise known as civs, and lead them through barbarians, weather, wars, prosperity, and eventually the test of time itself. So the thing I like about this game is every civ for himself. You might be allies with one person, and then the next day they're like, I don't like you anymore, and then they throw 20 spearmen at your doorstep, and you're like, oh, okay. So this is what we're doing now. There's no good or bad guys. It's just you. It's just you leading your people through. I guess the bad guys would be everyone else who wants you dead. That's well, I like games like that. It's more like each person has their own ideals. They're not really good or bad. I just like those kind of games. That's why I like games like Dynasty Warriors a lot too. And depending on the civ you are, is the kind of victory you're gonna go for too. One of my favorites to play is Native Americans because they make a lot of money. That's literally their entire thing.
How do they make a lot of money?
So they could set up trade deals out the ass. And I'm talking like you can straight away build like 3 traders, send them off. These people don't even know how to speak yet. You're already trading with them and getting money. You don't know what money is yet, and you're getting money.
I don't know why I thought of corn.
I mean, you can. I mean, or the chocolate sales.
If you're civs like China or Egypt, you end up just building a lot of things really fast. Egypt's like, I have built these pyramids. China, I've built a wall around my entire civilization. Suck it. You can literally do that, by the way. You can build the Great Wall of China however you want in the game.
You can build it in America.
You can. You can build it in America.
Oh my god.
It's made in China.
So most of the maps are random though, unless you choose like the Earth map or True Star
map.
Earth, which puts all the civs in the correct spot on the Earth map.
Cool. I like that. I'd probably be better with that. I can't imagine if America was based in Hawaii and only Hawaii.
I mean,
Oh my God.
wasn't there a whole like one where you're on islands or something?
Yeah, there's islands. There's Fractal, which just the map's jagged, random. Pangea, where everything's on one single island. Inland Sea, where everything's surrounding a single giant sea.
Wow. Oh yeah.
Flat Earth.
There's no flat Earth. That makes no sense.
Well, I mean, it's on a flat map.
Shut up. So, My favorite mechanic, obviously, is trading in general. It's just, it has so many uses. You set up trading posts, you just get more money. You get even more money from trading people. And your traders, as they're coming out of your cities, they make these little roads behind them. And that's how it was back then. It's like people trading with each other is how roads were eventually made.
From taking the same path so much?
Yeah. They end up following the same paths to the point where roads were made.
I thought they just had some dudes in front of them with shovels like...
Man, that's Rome. That's Rome.
People whipping them. Come on, we're going to be late.
why is the whip necessary?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Like, I'm sorry, master. We're going as fast as we can.
Why did you give them southern accent?
Wait.
I may have taken this a
I
little
thought
far.
this was China.
No, this is Rome.
It's
Rome?
not just China. It's just any civilization.
Rome. Rome's known for roads.
Oh, yeah. Rome's known for roads. They'll build a road through your civilization if you allow them. They will like, oh, yeah, what's this? Just to get to another civilization on the opposite side of you. And it's like, excuse you.
They build a whole interstate highway.
That's literally what Endgame with Rome is. All right. So, another good mechanic is city-states. There's smaller civs out there known as city-states, like Jerusalem, Mexico City, other smaller ones. And you can make friends with them. They give you buffs based on what kind of city-state they are, either based on production, gold, faith, which is the religion mechanic. And so you just throw envoys at them by doing quests for them. And if you throw 3 or more, you end up becoming the suzerain or leader of that city-state. Meaning they praise you. Whenever you go to war, they'll go to war with you. Or not against you, but with you. They'll join you in a war. You can also levy their military, so you can pay money to take their soldiers and join you. There's like a whole... The civilization I'm playing right now, that's its whole mechanic, is he makes friends with people, takes their military and fights people with it.
Jeez.
So it's just...
They must have some very motivational speeches.
That's what I think. That's hungry. That's the
Kill.
entire way to play hungry. And then you make these units called like the Black Army. And you just put them next to your levied units, and it gives it more combat strength.
Very tactical RPG-wise.
And there's just many different civs. You can play Spain and start like spamming missionaries out and spreading your religion to the point where everyone believes in your religion.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Nobody expects a Spanish Inquisition.
Oh my god.
Now the thing I hate, two mechanics I hate. Barbarians. I hate barbarians. I have lost so many games recently because of them. Because I forget that if you see a barbarian camp near your city as you start out, you have to jump on it. Or else a scout will come by, see your city, will run back to the camp and be like, hey, yo, my homies, there's like a whole place over here. Let's go jump them. And then an infinite stream of club-wielding idiots will come pouring out of that camp and they'll just raid your crops and beat down anybody who tries to come out of the city. Because they can't take the city directly for some reason. So they just beat down anybody that comes out of the city. And it's just... I can't do anything with that. They're just surrounding my city, just beating out my settlers and fighters that are coming out.
Oh
I'm just
my
like,
god.
why?
It's like they're hiding like right behind the gate, and then like
They just,
bam.
yeah, that's what I assume what's going on. It's like, okay, don't worry, we're going to found a new city. They walk out the gate, get the crap kicked out of them right
God.
there.
Oh my god. Just walk out of the city, pick some apples outside.
You won't get to pick the
Let
apples.
dude barely clothed just drags you into the forest and you scream.
Like, I hope these apple pies are going to be. Oh God, no! Why? Help me! Help me! It's like, oh, well, the bill. Oh, barbarians, don't worry about it. They come all the time.
It's barbarian season.
It's barbarian season.
We got to have some people sacrifice for this.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. So next mechanic I don't like. The way some civs react, they have these things called agendas, which is if you fulfill them, they're friendly towards you. If you don't, they kind of hate you more. France always gets mad at you for not having spies at the start of the game when your people don't even know how to speak. Your people are still going goosh, and then they're like, "Oh, you don't have spies. Oh, we're going to war with you now." Like what? Or like Spain, who literally spams missionaries at you for no reason. And I'm not talking like 1 or 2. No, your entire border is just surrounded by missionaries, and he's constantly asking if he can go inside your borders to spread his religion.
Would you like to know about the Lord?
That's literally, he's a Jehovah's Witness.
They're just waiting at your borders with pamphlets.
like, and then it gets bad when if you're following a different religion and you try sending traders out, they can denounce your traitor as a heretic and capture him.
I'm not even from your land.
If your trader is seen outside your own borders and he follows a different religion, they'll denounce him and take him.
Drag him into the forest.
They'll drag him into the forest, shouting holy scripture this time instead of just trying to beat him down.
Oh my god.
Um,
A priest and a barbarian walk into a bar.
what was it? Oh yeah, there's the Congo, which is like you share a religion with us. Share. And you're like, I don't have any religion right now. I'm kind of trying to learn swords at the moment. Religion. We want to be holy people, and it's like, I don't have what you seek. It's like, then we go to war, and it's like, what? So a bunch of people who want religion just jump your people outside the city at that point. You won't give us what we want. We're taking other things then.
Gee, them and Spain would be best friends.
Oh, they usually are. Or Norway, who gets pissy at you if you don't have a navy.
Oh, it is his land.
You're surrounded by land. You have no coastal cities. They're like, we're gonna raid your coasts.
Where? You gotta find the nearest lake.
Oh, it's funny because if you look at some of the Norwegian cities inland, they just make ships in lakes. They just make a navy in lakes. They're like, we don't care what we're gonna do, but we're going to have a navy.
Oh my god!
Right here, right now.
A log ship takes your people outside the city.
Just build a dam at that point.
My
Go to
God.
river.
So I love Civ 6 to death. It has a bit of a learning curve, though. You don't learn it, you're not going to have fun. You're going to have to do a bit of research before playing it. Because if you just go in it balls deep like I did, you're going to have a lot of bad times and flashbacks. You learn the hard way with everything that way. I'd recommend this to literally everyone. Everyone who likes micromanaging strategy. If you like board games, you like Civ 6.
Where you were talking about the research part, I was actually interested in Civilization 6 just upon hearing you talk about it. And I was with Brandon yesterday and I saw the genre for the game was called 4X. So for anyone curious to look up what 4X is, what I got from it was pretty much the simulation games where you build an empire. That's
There's a lot of them
literally
like
what
that.
it covers. So yeah. Those games are pretty fun. They definitely are the type, if you like sitting down strategy, blow some steam.
I wouldn't say it's a blow some steam. It's more
It's
of a...
make more steam.
It's definitely a big for Steam game. Let's just say that. There's going to be something that will take you off.
Well, hey, you're gonna become the next industrial revolution.
Yeah, if the Congo doesn't take you down.
Or like my recent one. Oh, crap. I'm dealing with barbarians, right? Like I said, my city's surrounded by barbarians. My settlers are getting taken. I can't trade with anybody. And then England comes and is like, aha, you got no army and there's barbarians. I'll take care of that for you. They have guns. I'm still using bows.
Throw the rocks, but really good accuracy.
So, they clear off the barbarians. I'm like, cool, thank you. Then they destroy my city.
Oh.
They're like, oh, look, you also don't have a military. Goodbye. And I'm like, oh, that's fair.
Wow.
Anyway, let's, I think I've taken a little bit too long.
One final thing I'd like to add. Buzz Lightyear doing a Spanish Inquisition.
Attempting hostile contacts. Heretics who don't believe in our religion.
All right, Brandon, you can go.
All right, so the game that I've been playing is Assassin's Creed Rogue. It's it's one of the few Assassin's Creed games that I haven't played. I know there was all the mainline ones, examples like Unity or Odyssey or Origins,
Black Flag.
Black Flag. But it played just like Black Flag, even though it came out basically the same day as Assassin's Creed Unity, which has a whole new engine and stuff. But besides that point, I played it on the Xbox One, but it's basically on all the other systems, PC, PS4.
I have it on Switch.
On the Switch as well,
Yeah, because everything's on the Switch.
I haven't played it much, but I have it on Switch.
360, PS3. How many systems it's on? I don't know. The story is you're Shay Cormac, an assassin turned Templar, hunting down the members of your former Brotherhood. And it's set in the 7 Years' War. I know.
Wait, that's where it's set at?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like the bad guys and good guys. At first, since I said Shay Cormac starts as an assassin, It starts off as the assassins and the bad guys are the Templars. But then after a certain instance, you become a Templar and the assassins are the bad guys to you. The motive, I can't really. The main motive is to get freedom for both sides, but in different ways.
Okay.
But like the motive in the game, I can't really say because it's the main plot point of the game.
Like the main character's goal.
What happened to him that made him betray the assassins to leave the Assassin's Brotherhood?
Well, what's their goal?
Their goal is to, well, get freedom.
Well, that's their motive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not very descriptive, but it still works. That's pretty much
Yeah.
America's goal.
Like, I mean, just for the sake of avoiding spoilers, like, that's fine.
Well, yeah, but like I said, there's the other motive to get the assassins to stop doing what they're doing in this game.
Stop being bad people.
Stop stabbing people.
Yeah.
But you get to see like the Templars' point of view to see what they're doing to get the freedom for the people. But of course, it's not really the freedom that would sound so good.
It's like controlled freedom. It's like, okay, you can do what you want, but if it's endangering literally anybody or anything else, we're stopping that right there and then.
Limited freedom at its finest.
So the mechanics I like, it's like the parkour aspects that was put in from Black Flag, and then of course the boat mechanics as well. Which
Ships, not boats.
you know what I mean, okay?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
When you said parkour, I imagine like what's the name of the main character?
Shay Cormac.
I imagine him in like a Tony Hawk simulator,
Oh God.
but like shanking people.
Oh my god.
As I was thinking, oh God.
Skateboarding off rooftops.
All right.
And one of like the other main mechanics that I liked was you get this like sort of rifle of sorts and grenade launcher.
Wait.
It's a
that's
sort
fair.
of grenade launcher where it's like it's an explosive or surrounding area. You get to put people to sleep,
It's an AoE.
or people can go berserk, and that can go somewhat towards the rifle as well. People go to sleep, or they go berserk.
I did like the rifle mechanic. Like, to play an assassin turned Templar who has a rifle, that just sounds cool as shit.
Headshot.
Yeah, but the mechanics that I didn't really like, this goes for the mechanics that I like as well. When you're like going up some of the buildings or trying to get off a building, you just like fly off. Like you're trying to do the leap of faith, but then you fly off into another direction and then you just die. Like, how am I supposed to get off this building if I'm not wanting to jump off the way I want to? Or then I jump off in a different direction, even though I'm trying to go up. And then the boat can somewhat like the ship. Okay. The ship can like sort of be controlled weird. It's like you're trying to like go into like another direction and it goes like very slowly, or it can go very fast, and you smack into another ship and they attack you.
Imagine that in like modern days, you're just trying to turn your car and you smack into someone else and you start firing guns at each other.
1 star.
Grenade.
Grenade. My God.
Grenade. Brandon.
He's not playing Assassin's Creed Rogue. He's playing GTA.
2 stars.
But I really enjoyed the game. It was nice to see all the how this game connects to all the Assassin's Creeds. The main one was Assassin's Creed Unity, because during the game you get to see bits and pieces of Shay Cormac's life later on. I think it's like 20 years later. but he's in like Paris, and you're wondering like why he's there. So later on, you find out he's there to assassinate someone.
Oh, I thought the wine was just really fucking good.
I'm not gonna say who he assassinates, but
I know who he assassinates. It's really fun. It's like
some
it
people
hit
might
me.
know as well. But it deals with the main character of Assassin's Creed, Unity. I'll just say that. But also there's the modern day, which it connects all the other Assassin's Creed as well. Because I didn't really say, but the modern day, you're just this like employee trying to a part of Abstergo Entertainment, which they're trying to make like movies and shows about like all these assassins and Templars. They're just trying to make money off this stuff. And that's how you get to play as Shay Cormac.
What?
So overall, if you like Assassin's Creed, if you like history, I recommend this game. If you want to see the bad guys' point of view,
Well, for my game, since we're on that, my game would be Dead Cells because, well, I got Dead Cells a long time ago when it first came out, around when it was on like early access, and I played it a lot. But I would say maybe about when I started playing some other games, I dropped off a little bit, and I haven't got time to actually pick it up again. And now that I have a Switch and it came on Switch with a lot of the updates, I bought on Switch, and that's actually I started picking up Dead Cells again. Well, Dead Cells is what Dead Cells is. I'll say is roguelike, and it's pretty much you'll be doing a lot of runs, and you'll be getting different weapons and all that. Pretty much is it's a simple game, but it's actually quite fun because
Is it like a dungeon crawler?
Dead Cells is what you would call a roguelike Metroidvania.
yeah, Metroidvania.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Metroidvania. It's not like Dungeon Crawlers would be like Dark Dungeon, but this is more like Castlevania like esque, where they even have meat from Castlevania.
Imagine playing Hollow Knight, but every time you die, you have to restart the entire game all over again.
Basically, that game.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait until we can use quick saves.
But yeah, I've been playing on my Switch more because I've been working like 10, 11-hour shifts and I'm barely home. So I've been using it as a way to sit down, play something for a quick little bit. Because most runs don't last that long unless I take forever, and then I could just wait for the run. But I just haven't had time to play games for a while, so been using it as a way. Dead Cells has been a very nice pickup. Where the story itself, the story now is the question because the game doesn't really tell you the story exactly because you wake up in a prison cell and there's a giant dead body next behind you, and that's around it. That's all you really know. In most of the games, you exploring the game, you figure out what happened to where you are, how you got there, how your main character, the prisoner / the beheaded, got into the situation. And usually, every run is different because every run, sometimes certain areas will be like, sometimes you might find a dead body like one run, but in the next run, that dead body won't be there. Like each run, some story elements will be gone and not be there. So you find story elements randomly sometimes.
And it's not even story elements. The layouts are completely changed every time, too. It completely changes the game every time you run
It's
through it.
randomly seeded.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh! Wow.
So you get random story elements, random seeds. It's just, it's more like you got to play the game a whole lot to find out the story, and it's actually quite nice because
I mean,
it makes
okay.
you want to play the game constantly.
I think that's a nice aspect. I mean,
Yeah.
Hollow Knight does a similar thing, and there's other games, of course, where you're kind of like thrown into the dark, and your goal is to learn and explore.
Yeah,
Except Dead Cells does it with a mallet to your face.
Dead Cells. I'll say it's not. I have died so many times to unfair bullshit, and it's like,
That's a good segue into mechanics.
yeah, I've died some unfair bullshit, but I have a lot of mechanics. Like I like the variety of weapons. Like there's just weapons up the ass sometimes. Like you have bombs, you have turrets, you have bombs that spawn bug creatures that bite stuff.
That's my favorite bomb.
You have a literal owl that shoots for you. You have best boy,
Owl?
mushroom boy,
Owl?
an owl.
Yeah,
This owl pulls out a Glock from its belt.
No, the owl flies and shoots. No, they have best boy, mushroom boy, who literally is the best thing ever since sliced bread. Because he's like a little guy who runs around punching things for you. And if you want him to, you have him kamikaze.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I like the variety of weapons. My favorite weapons would have to be the weapons you get from beating the nest boss. Because there's a boss and the nest, you get these giant scythes, and that's probably my favorite weapon. My first run was one on them because it's pretty much you attack with one, and if you attack with the other claw, you get double damage. So it comes to a point where you're just chaining the two claws, and it's like you can cheese a lot of the bosses in the game by just doing all their HP, like no time flat.
Is there anything you really didn't like?
There's a quite. I didn't like when you beat the game for your first time after you being the hand of the king, which is I wouldn't say the big boss because the game doesn't really tell you who is the bad guy.
Most players are gonna fight the hand of the king because that's the end goal of each run usually.
But yeah, he's the end goal. He's the end boss of the main game. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna.
There's many other bosses in the game.
Yeah, there's a lot
but
of
the one
bosses.
players will always have to encounter in order to finish the run is the hand of the king.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's is he like the end game boss?
I don't want to say that.
I don't want to say that either, because in the game there's boss cells, and every time you beat them, you get an extra boss cell. Can I say something about the boss cells? What you get if you get all the boss cells, you will find the true boss.
I don't want to say all the boss cells because I think there's infinite boss cells, but there's no reason to get more than 5.
Yeah, I think that's 5. I think it's you have to get 5 boss. When you get 5 boss cells, you get to find the true everything why the game is doing this.
Okay, so that's the checkpoint in the story.
Yeah.
So when you complete a run, you get a boss cell. It makes the game harder when you do that, though. You have to put it in this machine, and you essentially switch to hard mode, and that's how you get the next boss cell.
Probably
and it switches it to a harder mode, and then a harder mode, and then even a harder mode. Switches enemies, you take more damage. You can't heal as often, things like that.
Yeah, it's probably my least favorite. I would say honestly, it's my least favorite because some enemies are absolute bullshit.
So the boss cells have to be like the.
But I'll say this now. My least favorite enemy, I have 2 least favorite enemies. I have the one enemy from the one extra dungeon that is like this giant golem that literally attracts you. It's like, you can't run from it. The moment it sees you, you have to fight it. You have to kill it. You cannot run from it. Because if you try to run, you automatically instant teleport to it. You can't run from him, and I hate him. I lost a run because of it, because I got cursed, and I was like, I needed one more kill, and I was like, I'm not fighting you. It's like, I don't want to fight you. I died because I got teleported. So
curses is you usually get something cool. In exchange, you got to kill 30 people, but if you get hit once during this time, you die instantly.
Even with a revive.
Yeah, even if you have a self-revive on you, you'll die instantly. Your run's done.
That's an awful curse.
I mean, the curse you get used to after a while, but because the curse gives you some good weapons, but I got it, and then this enemy's like, hey, I see you. Now you must fight me. But the other matter of least favorite enemy, which is on boss cell 1, is the dagger enemies.
Knife throwers. Yes, someone understands. They're in the first area, the prisoner's quarters, where you start out, and they're invisible, and they do poison damage, and they throw knives, and it's bullshit.
Oh my god!
I'm trying to take no damage at all. I'm trying to kill like 30 enemies without taking damage. Hey.
Hi, allow us to introduce ourselves from the corner of this dark room, which you can't see me from, as they're chucking knives into your face.
It does poison damage, and poison damage can't kill you, but you get left on 1 HP. And you can't heal as often.
I would hate that.
And you can't heal as often. In Boss 1, you lose the ability to heal as freely. Because you have the normal health potion, but when you beat an area, you can refill it. Problem is, they remove that, and you only get 1 refill, unless you fight a boss, which you get a full refill. But I was like, I hate that enemy so much.
Higher boss cells, you're relying on just the potion, and you better hope you upgrade that thing, because that's the only thing carrying you through.
Yeah,
right?
And there's upgrades, which I unlock most of stuff. But I was like, I do hate sometimes with a lot of the upgrades. Like, some of the upgrades just seem like I'm never going to use. Like, it's like the abilities. Like, I don't think I'm ever, like, I hate that. Like, I have all these abilities, but I'm not going to use half of these, because you only get 3 of them.
So not everything's really essential.
Yeah.
Everything's more like situational.
So
Yeah.
Well, some of the upgrades at least.
So something players have been calling for a while is you'll get a lot of weapons and stuff like that, realize they suck, but you can't remove them from the item pool, essentially. So they're always going to be there where you could have probably gotten a better weapon instead.
Wow, and you have limited space.
You can only hold 2 weapons, 2 tacticals like turrets or saw blades or anything like that, And usually a bonus like an amulet or a potion or something.
Yeah. I actually I wish they like I do some things I do wish like I don't like how it's more like I don't like how I'm like I have this weapon I like these weapons and I get this weapon I hate the wooden shield.
So, what's your overall? Do you love it? Do you hate it?
I like the game a lot. It's a great time killer, and I've dumped some good time in it. Is it probably the best game I played over this quarantine? No, but is it the one I played the most? Yeah, because it's nice to pick up and put down.
Yeah, it sounds like you had a blast somewhat.
For me, I am a person who likes hard games as a fun time because if you notice, I do like playing harder games. I don't like playing games that are simple. I like playing harder games. That's where I have my most fun at. Like that's the kind of person I am. Where I love hard games because like I like getting mad at games. It makes me learn that I need to learn.
Isn't that called being a masochist?
Yes.
All right. So, any final words you want to add to that?
Yeah, I like Dead Cells. I really do. As someone who doesn't like being frustrated myself, I can't play it for too long in one sitting.
Yeah.
Because it's going to make me mad. I know it's going to make me mad.
From where I stand on it, when it comes to a game being fair or unfair, I break it down into like, okay, was this particular thing like the item slots? Was this intended to be a gameplay mechanic or is this just an oversight?
So what ends up happening with me is last year during like any off days or breaks or summer or whatever, I'd wake up in the morning, put some music on, play like an hour of Dead Cells, and I'd do whatever the hell I want for the rest of the day.
Yeah, that's.
I always play only like an hour or two of Dead Cells at most. I never play anymore because I'm going to get mad, frustrated as all hell. It took me 2 weeks to beat the secret conjunctivitis boss.
Man.
I don't have problems with that boss.
I won through the swarm grenade. That's the only thing I won.
I'll say this now. Of all the bosses, I have actually not had an issue. Okay, the only boss I had issue with, which is a free DLC, the free DLC boss. He was the only boss I ever had issues with. I don't want to bring him up because he is slightly spoiler.
A lot of secret bosses have like story and stuff attached.
Yeah,
to
like
them,
actual
so
story elements.
Now I know to be extra careful with this game when I play it.
Yeah.
It will break you in half.
Oh, a lot of games already broke.
I mean,
somebody beat Blasphemous so he can do that for the gaming channel.
you want me to? I could do that. I could do that.
Yeah, Charles likes hard games. Get him to beat it.
I'll beat it. I beat Mamadora in a single sitting.
All right. Okay. Well, that with Dead Cells concludes our what have we been playing. So I hope you guys found a game or two that really sounded interesting and made you want to play it. We did our best to explain, and we hope that really helped you out. Okay, guys. So as always, thank you for listening to our podcast where we talk about gaming, story time, and occasionally other things. So look forward to our D&D sessions coming up soon.
Woo.
There's obviously going to be more Valhalla coming in the future. Don't worry, that's not gone. It's just been a little bit hard because we've been staying at home. And the conclusion of Iconoclast. By the time this goes up, Iconoclast should be wrapping up with its conclusion. On Twitter, you can find us at KickbackBoys1. Although, alternatively, you can find us more active users. You can find me on Twitter at Lyserius, Lyserius.
You can find me on Twitter at Vextro55, VEXTRO55.
And if you guys would like to add anything Twitter related, just let me know.
I mean, I can throw mine in.
Social media and I don't get along, you know this.
I have a Twitter. I just right now with this whole lockdown and me pulling 10, 11 hours shifts, I haven't been using Twitter as much.
I mean, when have you?
I mean, I follow artists a lot, but like my problem is work's killing me.
Maybe you need to ask for a vacation or something.
So you guys can find us at our main channel, of course, Kickback Hypercast. And you can also find us on our gaming channel, which is KBH Plays. So, look forward to a new Let's Play coming to the channel.
Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell.
Share with your friends and others that you know love gaming. As always, guys, thank you for listening to us. Our goal is to keep growing, trying different things, and make this channel an awesome gaming channel. Not just playing games, not just talking about games, but breathing games, eating games,
Injecting them into our veins.
Inserting those game discs into our mouths.
What the hell?
Brandon.
I'm glad your mouth can move that wide to appropriate for that.
Yo, can I just like boot up like a PlayStation 2 game of Brandon? Just like slide it in his mouth and his eyeballs protect the.
You're gonna hear like the loud disc drive.
No, we're gonna run Doom into Brandon.
just
Run Doom
smoke
Eternal
coming
with
out of
Brandon.
his ears. It's like, oh god, Brandon's overheating. Smack it.
But can't he run
Skyrim.
Crisis?
Yeah, he can run Crisis.
My God, he gets so hot he starts burning calories.
And after playing Crisis, I'm done.
Wow.
All right, guys.
Wow.
As always, we'll see you next time.
See you next
See
time.
ya.
Bye.